Hi!
Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Carolyn.
Or Liz. Don't know where that came from. So, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
And I'm cpredmor on Ravelry, and when I post on Knitting in Our Jeans. And I haven't been posting a lot lately. I'm not quite sure why. Because I've been doing a lot of work, and I'll show you in a little bit what I've done this week. I've almost finished my teeny sweater.
You have.
I know.
I'm very impressed.
Very pleased. It has 1,000 yards in it, so even though it's a baby sweater, it's not
insignificant.
Tiny. No.
But we did discover that it is not acrylic. It is superwash wool, as I had said.
Yes, but it obviously is a brand I'm not, or it's a base that I'm not happy with.
Or it could be the gauge.
Could be the gauge. The gauge is very tight. It's very
on tiny needles.
Oh, it's size 2.
Yeah,
and so it's a very tight thing. So I guess the base is.
So what's it look like?
Oh, you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We're already discussing it. Let's just do it. It's all together.
Just
you have
about.
Sleeves and
we have a little peekaboo side here at the moment.
Oh, okay.
But my needle is there in order to sew it together. So here it is. Look at this.
So precious.
And then the pattern is set up for buttons. And there is room to do the right over left for buttoning. But I think that snaps on baby clothes are a lot easier.
Why do you think this, Mother?
Well, I have always thought this. But there's another problem in that when I was doing the right front, I managed to get the first buttonhole in. That's not this left front. So we have the first buttonhole, which is just a yarn over. But we don't have any of the other 5. There's supposed to be a total of 6 here. But I think I can fix this, not by taking it apart, but by putting snaps and then putting the buttons on top.
I think
that'll be fine. And I think it's a lot easier. If anybody has a squirmy baby, I think you'd realize or agree with me that snaps work pretty well. So you're not trying to get little tiny, because that's
right. Those would be itty bitty buttons. No, I agree with
that.
You.
That is,
I know it's an itty bitty button. I think it's ridiculous.
Yes, I mean it's as big as the eyelid.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's a single yarn over.
Yeah, it's a single yarn over. That's my buttonhole.
Crazy.
So I do think, and remember, I got all those buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'll be able to go downstairs and use some buttons that I think are really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I have not picked them out yet. What I did last night, I did the collar.
Nice.
So this is washed and blocked, except for the collar, and you can tell because it's wavy. So it needs to be washed again. And I started sewing it together last night. There's my mattress stitch.
And while we're on the topic of washing, yes, there are cases of the current outbreak of COVID-19. So before we gift anything, we are throwing it in the washer and dryer.
Oh yes.
No, more and probably
and we may mail it, not instead of bringing it by.
But I would just recommend that if you are gifting anything, maybe wash it once, maybe wash it twice, in the washer and dryer. Just because the water does get significantly hotter than we, with our hands, can handle.
Yes.
And that can help. Or wait until all this passes over.
Put it in a bag until 2 weeks after the last infection, and then it should be okay.
But just something to think about, because we do not want to
infect anybody.
Be infection vectors.
And since this is for a small child, she's not this size yet.
No, she is not.
By any means. But this sweater, I think, only came in one size.
I think
the pattern was only one size. This came from
But I just thought I'd point that out,
Pieceworks.
because we do understand that there are now New York...
right, we're in New York, in case you didn't know. And there are now
cases
in New York City, certainly, and in Westchester, and
Nassau and Suffolk?
2 on Long Island.
Okay.
At least one person is hospitalized in Winthrop Memorial Hospital. I think there's one person on Suffolk, but don't quote me.
This is not us being alarmist. This is just maybe wash your things more thoroughly if you are gifting them than you typically would during this time. That's all I wanted to say.
Exactly. And since, and you know, I'll call my niece and see what she wants us to do.
Exactly.
I certainly can mail it out.
Yeah,
this does take 1,000 yards of yarn.
Fingering weight
yarn. Because of the pleats that happen up in here and because of then the cabling that goes on. It's a very detailed sweater.
She is going to be a very stylish little miss.
I am loving this, what they call the smocking. It's not real smocking, but it
with
was...
the pleats? Or, with the cables.
The cables.
I love it.
The smocking went really fast because I was always doing something different. I have to tell you, I thought I was going to lose my mind on the skirt. But anyway, it's coming to an end. And if I don't finish it tonight, I'll finish it tomorrow. And then I'm going to rewash this to get the collar to lay straight. and they say also cough into your elbow. I am not sick, but I have allergies. And allergies started blooming on Monday for me.
Yeah. The trees are blooming earlier this year than any other year due to the exceptionally warm winter we have had.
Yes. So my allergy medicine is supposed to be once every 12 hours. I usually take it once every 24.
Yeah.
But I have since gone back to the label instructions of once every 12 hours, and that helps. I went and got my nasal spray that the allergist has recommended. And, my eyes on Tuesday I had an incredible headache. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until Tuesday night I went, allergies, like you could have had a VA, allergies. Mm-hmm. And by Wednesday, my eyes were itching. So on the way home from physical therapy on Friday, I stopped by the pharmacy, picked up the anti-itch eye drops.
Good.
And it's made a big big difference. So that's all good. So, but yes, you're supposed to cough into your elbow because no one tries to then shake your elbow.
But just
normal things that you would think about if there's a cold season going around,
or a particularly bad flu, which
I haven't in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
that type of thing. So no, it seems to be better this year. Of course, I haven't been on campus since early December, so that helps. So I haven't had the lacrosse team coughing in my face. Always a plus.
Not that that's happened the last few years or anything.
Right. I was very popular with the sports teams because I was considerate of their travel schedule. Not that I changed anything, but I realized that perhaps they needed the full weekend in order to be able to play their game or their match, whatever they were playing, and then be able to turn it in. So, whatever. So I ended up with entire teams, or like the front players, whatever. And they're lovely people. Lovely. But they want to get really close to you. And that's
really close.
Very close. And it's so close I can't even focus because my glasses are...
I almost was like, you're almost to the point where I can't see you anymore.
And I couldn't see them either because my glasses are set up for 22 inches, which is a nice, comfortable reading for me. So, not been to school. I'm much healthier. Allergies. And so if I cough, it's not because I have a fever or anything. I have allergies.
I don't think my father would allow me to visit if that were the case, if it were anything else.
So then the other thing I was working on was my red hot pullover.
Oh, yes.
And I finished the bottom edging. And that's downstairs. I apologize.
Which matches the bottom edge of these sleeves.
These sleeves are supposed to go up to about here with this too. And I said, I can't stand this anymore because the yarn is somewhat splitty. It is a cotton. This is my Rowan. Calmer.
And or is it the denim?
No, I think it's Calmer.
Okay.
The denim, it's denim colored, but it's Calmer.
Okay.
So, I said, all right, that's enough. And it's just easier. I thought it was also easier to be able to do a sleeve and do the increases without trying to do them with the lace pattern. So I'm doing both sleeves at the same time. They're knitted flat
Mm-hmm.
and then worked into the sweater. Since we are unsure of exactly how much yardage I have, since this has all been caked,
Reclaimed
and then used and then reclaimed, we're not really sure what the yardage is. I decided to stop working on the back, go to the sleeves, and then I had what I think is a brilliant idea. My Elphaba that I've made, finally finished. Elphaba, sorry. Fits really well. It was made in fingering weight.
Mm-hmm.
This is worsted weight.
We can take.
So we'll do sweater
math. Flat? Are the pieces of the Elphaba knit flat?
No. They're knit in the round, I think.
How much does your gauge change between flat and round?
I don't think it changes at all.
Okay.
I'm a really consistent knitter.
We will then do the math as per. And
then I can do the bottom of the front. We can join them together, and then what I'm planning to do is then knit down from the top down. The Elphaba has set-in sleeves. Not like this. This is raglan. This is my Pouf that I'm wearing. Le Pouf.
Your Le Pouf.
Because of the balloon sleeves. And I love it. I wore it all day today. We went on the yarn crawl. So anyway, we're going to do sweater math in order to change this red hot pullover to a top down instead of bottom up, so that, and I will do the other edging for the front before I go to doing it in the round, because then I can knit down as long as I have yarn, I can keep knitting down, having finished the sleeves. And I will do a 3-needle bind off, or we talked about this, and we may do eyelets, since there are eyelets in here. That helps.
Depends on where it lays
yes.
on Mom. It depends on if we want to make it more of an an architectural feature.
Right.
Than more of an invisible kind of just flow.
Right. And when I do a 3-needle bind off, as I had done with this, this was in the pattern. It was a 3-needle bind off at the shoulders. And I don't think you can see it.
I think you can, but that's also because I know where it is.
Right. So I do it on the purl side. Mm-hmm. So the seam that you get from the bind off is there. It's that bump there, but it's on the inside, not on the outside. So I think, since it's my sweater, a 3-needle purl bind off will be okay, but maybe there's something else we can do with it. So this is moving along. I'm going to finish sewing this. The reason it's not finished is that it got late last night, and I decided I didn't want to do sleep seaming.
Good idea.
Yes. So this will get finished soon, and I can go full steam ahead on my red hot, which is blue in my case.
So I finished this week.
Well, first of all, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my not so swancho Ninilchik swancho, which has, as we've discussed, full sleeves, and has half of the ease that would have occurred for me.
And you got quite a few compliments on it today.
I did, which is always nice to hear. I really do like wearing this. And
I don't think you would have liked it as much the way it was written.
I don't think so. I don't think I would have worn it as much as
no.
And Tanya and I were talking about that a few days ago, and we were saying she wants to do something, and it's going to take a lot of math, and I was like, but Tanya, we said that about my shifty, we said that about my Ninilchik, but I wear those a lot. I mean, I wear my Cora a bunch. I wear all of my sweaters.
We are not just knit convention sweater wearers. We wear them all the time.
We do not wear our sweaters.
That's right.
Whereas I did think the shifty might not be in the rotation as much as it is.
It ended up being gorgeous.
It
the
did.
colors
and it's
going together.
Comfortable. And and the sleeves are a bit balloony, and I really enjoy that when I'm wearing it. So I think that's part of it. But I was like, I can't personally say that it's a detraction from wearing it. I'd say if we are modifying a pattern in order to wear it more, that's just what you need to do.
Positive.
And it's just what you need to do, because why put all the time and effort into making something that you're not going to wear?
I think most of us have gotten to the point where we know what kind of styles look best. I'll use it, for instance, the Duchess of Cambridge. If you look at her, she has a lot of shirt waists or A-lines because she's got an incredibly gorgeous, tiny little waist. And so she looks good in something that goes like this. I've never seen her in a dropped waist dress.
No.
So that obviously just isn't in her fashion sense.
And her natural waist is lower than, say, mine. Like,
yes, because you're short-waisted.
I'm short-waisted.
So she has a particular style, and it took me a while to realize that my body is shaped in a particular way, and so therefore these styles look best on me. If I make something that goes absolutely straight, I tend to look like a plug.
Which is also why this sweater, the fact that it's fitted around my bust, is helpful because it is still very straight, but it doesn't look like a bag because it is fitted at the bust.
Yes. So sometimes,
for an example, for
when you do those kinds of alterations, you make it more appropriate for your body, and I think that lets you wear it more.
And Nimru's, Julia from Pandia's Jewels, just made a Sorrel sweater, which we've talked about on here, and I will talk about it in a little bit. And she put it with a lot of negative ease, and it looks phenomenal. So now I'm thinking for mine, I'm going to knit it with some negative ease because it looks so good on her, and I really admire her style. And it's a bit similar to mine. Mine, I do tend to be a bit more utilitarian in terms of, because I work on a construction site a good amount of the time, versus wearing more vintage looks on the regular.
Right.
So I did finish my test knit of the Softwear update.
I love it.
I know, I do too. It looks really good. So the collar is just a rolled V-neck. Actually, I think you'd have fun knitting it too.
I think I would.
I really wish I had more of the Mexican hot chocolate to make the sleeves.
Longer sleeves.
Well, to make them more red.
Right.
But I still like it. I'm going to wait until I come back here next weekend, and I'm going to throw it
into the washer and dryer.
I think I'm going to throw it in the washer and dryer. It's alpaca predominantly, so it shouldn't I'm not going to throw it. I might not throw it in the dryer. I'm going to throw it in the washer, though, I think, because
probably delicate.
Yeah, because I want to get all of the oils, the hand oils, and it's been all over with me. I mean, it's been here, it's been Pittsburgh, it's been Alexandria, it's been
Did it go to Nashville?
Philly, it went to Nashville. So it's been a lot of places. Dirt. And it has travel mojo, but it also has possibly some latent dust and such that needs to be taken care of.
Exactly.
But I really do enjoy it, and I think it looks really good, and I'm really happy.
It's gonna look great.
And it fits, which is always good.
Yes.
I also then, when I've been home, been working on the Vertices Unite blanket.
Oh, I love this.
So I am on section 7 of 8. So this then is a parallelogram block that connects to this down here. So it's 32 ridges.
Rows. Okay.
And I have 15 so far. And then the last block happens over here, and then it's an I-cord bind off.
Oh, wow.
And so I've left all of the ones that say put on waist yarn, I have put on cables, interchangeable needle cables, so that I can more easily pick up the stitches and just keep going. I think the only section I have to really pick up when I do the I-cord bind off is this.
Very good.
Plus a section of the last piece of it. But
Very nice.
I know, and I really like it. Like, looking at it all together, it's such a funky baby blanket.
I love it.
But I think the parents will love it.
I think this multicolored part really perks it up.
Yeah, well, and it's all based on that multicolored section.
Very pretty.
All the colors I picked were picked off based on this colorway.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been working on that when I'm home, and I have been, for 2 days this week, I have maybe 3. I've been working on my baby cardigan that is from the contiguous sleeve class. And I have separated for the sleeves. And I started to put a Villanova V.
Oh, how cute.
On the front left, kind of like, I guess Letterman jackets have it on the front right.
I had no idea it wasn't a Letterman.
Well, I put it on the front left. Oh, well. And I found a cross-stitch pattern that I just marked onto a little grid paper. Okay. And so I'm carrying this in my bag with me as well. And I'm getting about 2 rows at lunch. Or I've done that for about, I think, 3 days, right? Hold on, let's see. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4. I guess I've done 4. 4 days of two rows each.
Okay.
Because I did an extra row in the sleeve. I might have actually knit on this I knit on it at least 3 days at work this week.
Cool.
So the others might have been, knit night. I brought it to knit night. That's where I put on extra rows. So knit night was this week. But yeah, so that's what I've been actively working on. But speaking of knit night, it was yarn crawl weekend.
Yes, I missed knit night. We had a friend from Baltimore show up for dinner. So instead of going to knit night, I made dinner. So that was nice. I mean, how often do you get a friend coming in? So that was lovely. Cool. And I got flowers out of the deal.
You did. They're very lovely flowers downstairs.
Yes. So, Long Island Yarn Crawl. And since I'm not working on campus this year, I had Thursday and Friday to drive all over
God's Little Acre,
Long Island. So I started on Thursday, going down to Oceanside. So, what I got.
Well, you got one of the bags.
Yes.
Which have this year's logo on it and the name of all the shops.
Yes. And then they had
3
Irish girls. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, this is one of the passports. So this is from, this will help us give the names of the places.
This is from I just lost it. The knitting store.
Right.
In Oceanside.
In Oceanside. So, yes, there are 2 different colors. This, I figure, can be a yoke. And this is these are the rest of the sweater. And, in fact, the one pattern I have called Etude, it shows a sweater that looks like it's been done.
In a fade?
In a fade or a color block. Excuse me. So, I think I'm joking. I think that'll be the type of sweater that I'm looking to do with this. It's so funny. Today I didn't have my phone or half my credit cards because I have my credit cards in a little pocket on the back of my phone, and my phone had gotten slipped into one of the knitting bags.
Yes.
On Friday.
I see what you mean.
Yes.
They fade. So that's
you can't see the fade.
Can't really see the fade.
But yes, it starts out dark and goes to light.
And this isn't a photo of it kind of upside down. Just so you know.
So the neck, anyway.
Yes.
So from there, where's my next bag? Oh no. I decided, it was such a beautiful day on Thursday, at least here on Long Island. I think it was close to 60 degrees, sunny. So I got in the car and I drove out to East Hampton. And that is Black Sheep Knitworks. And I really this year didn't have much in mind except a couple sets of not needle sets, but types of needles. The Etude needed a 3mm needle. So I managed to pick up a 3mm needle at Knit in the size 16 inch, which is what the pattern calls for. And then on Friday, I picked up another one, longer, 24 inch. Okay, but I drove out to Black Sheep Knitworks, and I got a sweater's quantity of this, which is Concept. This is cotton merino.
Wow.
Let's see if I can find the percentages. 70% cotton, 30% merino. So feel it. I think it'll be great to work with.
That'll be really interesting.
Yes.
That'll be really interesting. I really like, it's a coarse, it's a It's a chain plied
Yes.
construction, which I really like.
6, 7, 8. I have 9 of these things.
Okay.
There are 115 yards.
Okay, so you have like 2,000. No, sorry, you have like
1,000.
1,000. So you said 115?
Yes. So I think it's worsted weight.
You have 1,035 yards.
Yes, I think it's worsted weight.
Okay.
Oh, no. Wait a minute.
You have 10.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no. We have more.
No, wait a minute. That's 5. Yes, we have 10. Don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, we have 9. Any more in here? No. And out there, let's see. I got a raffle. So I was entered in the raffle. I got a row counter.
No. Yes, I like
Yes,
those. I had that.
Yes, you did, but I didn't. So now I have one, and now that I've talked about it, we'll get it out and use it. And they gave me
A stitch marker.
a stitch mark help
They're
with
so
the
cute.
sheep. Look at that. There it
So
is.
cute.
Very cute. And these are the ones I like. I like
Yeah.
movable stitch markers. So thank you very much, Black Sheep Wool. Okay. So we can get rid of this stuff and put all this back. So I thought with the worsted weight that this is, I'm thinking of a summer sweater out of this.
Yeah.
And the dye lots are all the same. So even though one looks darker than the other, the ones that are light on the outside have darker insides.
Okay.
So we looked at them. We made sure that it's all the same dye lot. And this is all she had.
Well, yeah.
So I bought.
Well, she has a small shop. So.
Yes. Well, yeah. So I got all of that. From
Good.
there.
Do you? So you don't have anything in mind just yet?
Not yet. No, I may have looked up something when I was in the store.
Okay.
This might be. What's the one I made for Laura?
Bloomsbury?
Bloomsbury. This might be the Bloomsbury.
Okay.
This might be the Bloomsbury. And I had enough yarn.
Okay.
So, yes.
I thought that took like a heck of a lot of yardage.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyway, from there, I got in the car and I drove to...
Did you drive to Long Island Yarn and Farm?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Long Island Yarn and Farm. And
She texted me throughout this adventure on Thursday and Friday, which is how I know the order.
Although it still says Long Island Livestock Company. When I got there, the llamas were out, although they were walking back to the barn.
Mm.
And I went down into the store. Now, I have a bag that has a sweaters quantity. I have a cardigan to make up in there. Yarn, and I've got a sock pattern and yarn to make into a sock. So I really didn't want to buy any more. You know that I had made my Lady Yak out of their fiber or their yarn. So it's not like I'm putting it off for any reason, just haven't gotten around to it. But my hands are feeling dry, so what I got was Shepherdess Salve, which... and I looked to make sure it didn't have any coconut, because some of theirs do. So it's lanolin, shea butter, jojoba oil, and essential oils. So
should be good.
I think it should be good. I did open it and smell it. Guys, it smells a clean smell.
Yeah.
So they had, I think, 3 other fragrances. And then I got a lanolin lip gloss type of thing.
Always good.
Always good. So that's there all the time. They also have dryer balls. They have a bunch of different things there. They had roving. I almost bought roving. And
you almost buy roving almost every year.
I know. It looks so luscious and yummy. And then from there, let's see. Let's get all our ducks in a row. Oh, I went to...
So What's New?
So What's New and Yarn Too. And there I was looking for more of the cotton wool blends, and that's where I had gotten a sweaters quantity last year or the year before. They didn't have any this year. They either had all cotton or it was cotton and acrylic, and it wasn't what I wanted. So they're very nice, very sweet, but there wasn't anything that I wanted to buy there this year.
Yes.
You never know.
You never do.
That's right. And at that point,
I think you ended Thursday.
It was time to go home. So I did the whole South Shore-ish on Thursday. On Friday, I had to run to PT, and that's in Port Washington. So then after physical therapy...
You went to the knitting place?
I did. I went to the knitting place, and outside they had some balls of cotton and linen. And they had, if I thought about it a little bit more, I really could have done stripes. And I probably could have gotten a sweater's quantity because it was 50% off. But they didn't have... I think I needed 10 balls, and they had 7 of one color. So they looked for me, and it just wasn't there. And the rest of it was not. She didn't have anybody going downstairs.
I think they've rearranged their situation since.
Yes, probably. So just got it signed there. From there, I went to knit. Meanwhile, I had taken one of my single serving packets of sunflower butter with me and a spoon so that if I felt like going further out on the island, I'd have something to eat for lunch and move on. So I got to knit, and
I picked up needles, and I heard you picked up something else as well.
Hold on, I had to find it. So I picked up a 16-inch US 2.5, which is what I need for the Etude. And then...
Ooh, that is pretty. Ooh.
The Mad Tosh.
Are we doing something stripey?
Oh, this is the bit.
I
don't know. What we had was...
No, you haven't
5
enough
skeins.
Of the purple.
Well, see, I'm never quite sure. This is Elven Dark, and it's DK weight.
Okay, and you have 5 of them, which means you have at least 1,000 yards.
Yes, but since I normally do fingering weight sweaters, in my head I don't really easily translate.
You need, if you want to do something cabled, it's...
So then I got these for a contrast if we need it.
Yeah.
For hems, and so cuffs, collars, and hems could be in this. So I've got 2 skeins.
You could also do a color work. We have so many options now.
Yes. So we have this and 5 of the Elven. So, and this was part of what was on sale at Knit. So, what?
It's really pretty, this purple.
Yes.
The purple
so
is
we
really
got
pretty. Needles and...
Yes. All year I had planned on buying needles at Knit. So that
because we know she has the likey.
Oh, she has quite
set
a large number. Oh, here's the Etude.
Yep.
So you can see how they have it. So it is color.
It's a fade.
Fade. Thank you. I brought it with me in case someone asked me, so why do you need a needle that's not that often used? Well, look, it's in this pattern and I need it. But I think that could go with the 3 Irish girls. Remembering that I had first bought this for the Etude. So we'll see. Maybe I need more than one in my life. So then I went to...
Did you go to Oyster Bay or did you go to...
Hold on, let me think about this. I went all the way out to Port Jeff immediately.
So that's Knitting Cove and Yarn Shop.
Yes, and they had moved, so they're now on Main Street. So they're on one of the streets that goes down into Port Jeff. And I picked this up. It's this Longwood Sport Stripe, and it's machine washable. It is superwash, extra fine merino wool, and I figured with this much I could make socks. So I could make, are the socks that go sideways? A skew.
The skew socks?
What are they?
They're not sideways, but they're weird construction.
Yes, and what are they? Sport, DK?
So I make them in Sport or DK.
Right, so this is Sport.
They are written in fingering weight.
Oh, okay. So that, or I thought maybe something for Chloe.
Yes.
And then they had the 2.5 or 3 millimeter size 2.5 or 3 millimeter and a 24 inch. So I now have 2 of these. So if I lose one, I'm still good.
Yay.
So from there.
Then you went to Oyster Bay, which is the knitted pearl.
Yes. And I was
Which is where you picked up the cotton linen before. So, did you pick up more of the cotton linen? Oh, why did I ask? Oh, did we pick up more? Oh.
So this I thought I could stripe.
Okay.
So this is Stacey Charles Nina.
Mm-hmm.
And I had looked, and I have it set up for...
The Sunshine Coast?
The Sunshine Coast by Heidi Kirrmaier.
I don't know.
Right. So I got 3 of these, and so the Stacey is 77% linen, 23% cotton. So again, a nice summer sweater. And I thought this was all of the gray tan that she had. So I thought, and it would make the size medium, but barely. So I thought, oh, I love this. If I do some like thin stripes in this, then it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
So that's the plan for this, and it was 50% off.
Very nice.
So I got all of that for like $70.
Nice.
So it's less. So there's 9 through 12. I have 12 balls of this stuff, and I only paid $70 for it.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Anything else? No. Take that out. Put this in. So from there, I went to
Huntington? Or did you go to Huntington before?
I went to Huntington, and I walked through the entire store, and sometimes I have found things that were really terrific in the front of the store. Sometimes I find stuff that's really terrific in the back of the store. There was a crowd, and I don't think well in a crowd, particularly when I'm by myself. Yeah. There's just too much going on. Remember, I'm dyslexic. So I did go in the back.
And you're limping this year.
I'm limping. So, but nothing really jumped out at me. So I did a tour of the store. I didn't see that they were really highlighting anything. So I got a stamp. From there, I went to
Oyster Bay.
But you know, the Knitting Cove sometimes has featured yarn dyers.
Yes, and they did on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, well, not on Friday.
Right.
So when I was there and got the one skein, there really nothing
else really jumped out
at me. They had bags. There were a number of stores that had bags this year, very pretty, especially knitting bags. But I've been having to cut back on my bags. We've had to throw out bags that were old.
You've had to cut down on purses, not necessarily.
No, bags. I've cleared out bags.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, I cleared the really crappy ones.
Well, good.
So I don't need to buy any more project bags because there's a ton of them in the closet that are empty. So then I went to the knitted pearl, and
that's where you got the Nina.
That's where I got the Nina. By this time it was raining.
Yes, Friday was a special day with rain.
Yes. So there is parking in the back behind the store. I didn't see it until I'd already parked. And I parked across the street. So I parked across a 4-lane street.
I don't know. I haven't been since they moved.
So luckily it was raining because fewer people were moving around. So it was easier for me to get back across the street. They're very nice, very welcoming. Everybody I thought was very welcoming this year, which is lovely since we're going around and spending money. And so you'll notice that that's only 9 stores because our knitting group had decided that we were going to lunch at the cafe across the street from Altman's in Mattituck on Sunday. So I left Mattituck open. I thought about going to Mattituck after after Port Jeff. But on Friday, it was telling me it was going to be another hour to get from Port Jeff to Mattatuck. I went, I can't do that. I'm just going back, which I did. So that was 9 stores in 2 days. I could have done 10.
You could have.
I could have gone from East Hampton over to Mattatuck and then done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we
Take it away.
got up. Well, Mother woke me up because of daylight savings or something. My alarms didn't wake me up, and I didn't even know my alarm was going off or had gone off until after Mom had called me and woken me up. I then got from in bed to... Oh, that's
Here's the bottom. Here's the bottom of the back.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so I'm going to do... I will finish my sleeves. I'll do the bottom of the front, a mirror image of this, and then we'll be able to join it.
So... This morning, Mom woke me up, and from the point that we hung up to the point that I got in the car was 10 minutes. I then went and picked up our friend Tanya.
It was impressive.
And then was out and picking up my mother within 45 minutes.
Yes.
I picked her up at 9:45. And Mom gets in the car, and then we ran over to Starbucks for our
caffeination. Mechanical thing.
Yeah.
I thought it needed batteries, but it doesn't.
I mean, it does, but...
It does?
Yeah. But you don't have to put them in it.
Okay. Terrific. And it goes over your finger?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to figure out which finger. Go ahead.
So we then grabbed some Starbucks, and Mom then gets in the car and goes, we have to go out to Mattatuck now because it takes like 2 hours to get out there. And I was like, I don't think so, Mom. But, okay, let's get, and I was like, okay, let's get to Starbucks and then we'll put it in the GPS. Put it in the GPS, says we'll get there at 11, which is the time that everyone else in our group was going to be at Huntington. So I was like, and Huntington was having their St. Patrick's Day parade today. So they were deciding to do that first before heading out to Altman's and brunch. So we decided that we would also go to Huntington. I could get a stamp, and then I also had to pick up some books at the comic shop, which I've told you about before, the Escape Pod comics, and I had a stack of books waiting for me, which was very funny, because I knew I had 3 of them, but he came out with 4, and I was like, what's this? And I recognized that it's, Noelle Stevenson is the pink book, this one. And I was like, what is that? And he goes, it's the Noelle Stevenson, and I was like, I mean, I love everything you recommend to me, so, I'm obviously buying it, but, and then he goes, it's the one that's the blog post that she turned into a memoir, and I was like, oh, yes, the one you Instagram messaged me about. Yeah. But it was one of those moments where I was like, I know I have 3 things to pick up, but you are handing me 4, but you have never led me astray previously. So, just wondering. Clarifications. So, the first things that I got, what is my watch telling me? I think my watch has only 10% battery left. So, at the comic book shop, I picked up The Deep and Dark Blue, which is by Nikki Smith, and it's been recommended by Tamora Pierce, which is why I am intrigued by it. I will let you know how it is, but the art looks really nice. It looks very pretty. I really like the color choices I'm seeing. So, I'll fill you in on how it is, but this I picked up the memoir, and then I picked up Sarah of the Royal Stars, which is kind of a Persian themed book, and it's got some beautiful artwork in it as well. And then Relics of Youth, which is kind of a
action?
Teen kind of X-Men-y kind of thing that I had been recommended to read. And I had read part of the first issue in the shop, and so I had put it on my hold list. So I picked these up, and I'm very excited about them.
And then you went into the garden,
and but yes, I did go into Knitting Garden, and a few years ago, I had picked up some of the Shibui baby alpaca, and I have 4 skeins of this mineral, this gray, and I had, as I said, I have 4, so I have about 1,000 yards because they're $2.50 each. I was like, but what if I want to do something a little bit more with it? So they had 1 skein left, so I picked that up. And then I really like the navy blue, which I used.
That's gorgeous.
I used part of my skein that I had of this in my Soldotna.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up another skein of it because it's really pretty. Everyone should applaud me because I did not pick up the sweater's quantity of raspberry that they had. But this was on sale, and I figured let's just add a little to stash, because it is alpaca, and it's in 2 colors that I already know I have, but have said multiple times in my head, I could use a little bit more of that.
Because they're bend friendly.
So then we went to Altman's, which was lovely.
Really nice. It's such a pretty store.
It's such a lovely little store. They have
needlepoint. And by the way, if you want to embroider your pillowcases, they have standard size pillowcases in kits for embroidering. And there's one with a cat hiding in the flowers in a garden.
Aww.
So cute. And then there's one with 2 cats with their heads together. We have a king size bed. So if there were king size pillowcases, several of those kits would have been gone. Gone, because it was so absolutely so cute.
Dad would have died if he came home and you had
kittens,
embroidered kittens on his pillows. Oh my God, I would have loved that.
We would have been able to tell whose pillow's whose.
Oh yes, you would have. And they have just embroidery supplies, needlepoint supplies. They have
floss.
They have all the floss. They also have yarn, and they have a nice little greeting card section as well.
Very cute.
I really do like their store. And then we had brunch across the street at Love Lane Kitchen, which was so good.
Oh, so good.
And neither Mom nor I got sick, and our other friends who came with us who have some food restrictions had no problems. And it was just really good. And I could totally see driving, if I'm going out east, stopping there for lunch, brunch, again.
Mm-hmm.
Trying dinner out there. It was really quite good.
You got an alcoholic beverage.
I did get an alcoholic beverage. It was delicious.
I drove after that.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering.
I mean.
Well, it's fine.
Yeah. That's why we have really good. That's why we have mommies come with us. Oh, I drove out there, so yes. that was my thought. I was like, well, if I drove out there, then I can have a beverage at brunch, and then mommy can drive home.
Sounds good.
So we then went and we got, so that was at Love Lane Kitchen. We then went over to Magic Fountain, which is an ice cream sorbet gloriousness about a mile away. That we also always say when we're at Altman's, we should check out this kitchen, this cafe. And every year we're like, no, we're on a schedule. We have to hit these shops. We got to get all these things.
Yeah, because we have in the past tried to hit every store.
And hit all the North Shore stores all on Sunday.
Right.
So this year we decided not to do that. And I had from early on, so about in February, I had started saying, hey guys, how about we chill and we do brunch? How about that? We sound good? Sound good? So about half of our group, no, more than half, about 2/3 of our group ended up doing brunch with us, and then we went to the ice cream place and we got ice cream and sorbet, and it was lovely.
Really nice.
So then, again, we just did things that we have said we want to do out there, but have not had the time. So from there, we went to Knit in Roslyn,
yes,
where I picked up some of the Philippur de Crosa Superior Cashmere in And I have a gray, a light gray, and I think which way I think will fit right here.
Oh, nice.
I think this will be a lovely fade, probably in this direction, with the light gray here, for a, I just lost it. That's
why I was writing names of sweaters.
No, I know, but I've said it twice already today. We're going to look up my friend Nimruz, who made it recently.
Well, that's right. You just talked about it.
I know. I feel so silly. The Sorrel. So, and I'm thinking of getting a light blue loops and threads acrylic in it's a very light fingering weight to hold as like the main color with it.
Oh, nice.
So that it is fully bend friendly. Because I also at Knit picked up 6 skeins of Shibui Pebble, but I think because the Pebble has this slight slub or it has a slight slubby texture, but also it has this beautiful tweed kind of look. I think it might not work as well.
You could try it.
I could, but I also think I could use a gray or a light blue. I have enough gray in that thin fingering at home that I could just do it. So that is what I got. The Shibui was on sale. This was not, but you know what?
Oh, I wondered about that.
Treat yourself.
That's right.
It had been on sale at a different sale that I did not think
to buy
hard enough about. Then I bought the gray because I was very excited about that one gray. And then I had been thinking about these 3.
God bless you.
Thank you. For the last month. So I sucked it up and got it. But yeah, so I'm thinking that'll be a Sorrel. And I'm not sure what the Shibui will grow up to be, but I do have a lot of things that either are held together with something or I need a main color, and I don't have anything really in that deep charcoal color right now. So I'm very excited. And the Shibui is Shibui Pebble, which is 48% silk, 36% wool, and 16% cashmere. So it is also boyfriend friendly. So everything I bought was boyfriend friendly.
That's great.
But yeah.
My boyfriend's allergic to nothing.
Yeah, your boyfriend is allergic to nothing, but he is an overly warm...
Yes.
He's an overly warm human being.
So he doesn't get any sweaters because he doesn't want any.
No.
His winter coat is a light bomber jacket. So what I got at Knit today was...
all of the needles.
4 needles. So I got a 5, a 6, a 7. I did 8.
No, you got that previously.
This is previous. So I got 4 needles. I really was saving the buying of the needles, thank you, for Knit. And I had, on Friday, I had already bought yarn. So I felt I'd done my duty by Knit. And these are needles that I wanted. While I've been finishing up whips, some reason I must be using a lot of 8s at the moment.
Must be.
So I didn't have a wooden 8 left to go. And my hands are a little stiff because of the size
finger
2,
weight on 2s?
Yes. So I wanted some wooden ones to really give a little bit more limbering to my hands. So I picked those up. I thought there was some Ella Ray that was a blue going to kind of a teal blue going to a black. Lovely stuff, but you know, there wasn't a discount on it.
And you can, if it's still there,
so
in a little while,
it would be there later on if it's not on special discount. And it was pretty, but not something I needed. But
if it continues to nag at you at Knit Nights, you can keep it in mind. I can
certainly go back and get it on Knit Nights, so that is exciting. As you can see, I have cast on. And I'm knitting a gauge swatch for the Etude.
Oh, out of the Judy Long?
The Lacita de Grade.
Oh, from Lana Grossa.
From
Lana Grossa at
Lana
VKL.
At VKL.
Oh,
so
very nice.
That's really great. It's going to take a little getting used to having this thing on my finger.
Yeah.
But so we'll see if I can get gauge on these needles. And I'm just really happy. So then the other thing that happened this week. So that's all of Long Island Yarn Crawl. While I was out.
It is over for another year.
At East Hampton,
yes.
right outside the store, they had this map of things to do. A Discover map of things to do in East Hampton. So I brought it home.
Wow.
Because I think we were talking... Rich and I were talking about going out east for a week, end of March. So we can look at this. I'd like to stay at Sag Harbor. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. There is a hotel up in Sag Harbor, so we could stay there. We could look at Airbnbs. There was an interesting Airbnb on the North Shore of Bayshore? Not Bayshore. Bayville. Bayville. So we'll have to look and see. And we'll have to see what the virus is doing as to whether we're sheltering in place. But anyway, look at this.
Vogue Knitting came in the mail. Look at this.
So this is a calf facet design. So nice. Multiple colors, but you can see these blips. Let's see if I can hold. These blips are the same color all the way through. So it really is the coordinating scheme that starts out. Yeah. Now, you had said something about... did you want to talk about the markers? Now, I noticed that Cheryl had these triangle markers at Knit.
She had the whole set there, too.
She had the whole set. So, these are available at Knit if you are in this area. Let's see what I like this. Keep out. There might be secret crafting happening in here. Silence, please. There's counting going on, so these are things to hang on your door. Come in if you have wine, gin, tea, coffee, or snacks. Jimmy Beans apparently is putting together ready-to-knit kits in Tosh, DK and Tosh Vintage for the brioche cardigan and cabled scarf. So you might want to go and look at Jimmy Beans to see what they've managed to put together. They have an article on breed-specific yarns. And for any of you who read Clara Parks, she has also talked about breed-specific yarns and the different qualities the different traits that the yarns have when they are on a particular species of sheep. Then they talked about making things that are a different palette than what's shown in the sample. And we've been doing that for days, years, months, decades. I personally will show you this pattern, this plaid coming up. I don't think I could do it, that I'd want to do it in the sherbet colors.
I was going to say the sherbet that it is.
Yeah. So instead, I could see doing it in shades of cream, tan, and a nice chocolate brown. You talked about violets,
shades of purple, shades of blue.
So... and then we talked about this in the Rowan, the calf facet there. I think that is really pretty. When it goes long, and then a cardigan, either short or long, I like that. Then they have an article about shawl collars and the different looks of a shawl collar.
And that's from Meg Swanson.
Meg Swanson. Final touches. We got Knitter's Pride having
the blockers
in rainbow colors, yarn snips, all kinds of stuff there. And then the sew-on handles and leather straps for bags if you're going to make those. So they're giving you different sources for the things that will help you finish off your projects. So important. Then they talk about Philadelphia as being a city that stayed late in the game in terms of processing yarn, up until, I think, the middle 50s of 1950 or so. All right, so here's another look at that calf facet shawl, and I think it's just stunning. Probably not something I would make. I could see making a blanket out of it. I think that would be a tremendous blanket.
Yeah.
You know, just double,
Yeah.
triple what you're doing, and I think it would be just lovely. So something to think about. And then they get into the new designs. This I like. I think making that as a good Saturday weekend hacking around shirt, I think would be
Or on the boat.
On the boat, making this in one of my
cotton linen
things. Let's see. It's 2. It's a 2, and it has size pluses. So always good.
Always good to be size inclusive.
Yes. Let's see. They gauge. Oh, it must be, looks like fingering.
Yeah, just about.
And I have some of that, from Australia.
The Queensland?
Queensland, thank you. So I think that I could make that in the Queensland. So this may be a Queensland sweater coming to my drawer. I love this. Now, this next sweater kind of looks like my style until you look at this
collar detail.
Yeah, this trapezoid. So you have a V-neck sweater and then all of a sudden this collar up at your neck.
It's a very interesting statement. It is just not a statement that you are going to be making.
No. I mean, I love the back of the sweater.
Yeah.
Look at that. So I could even see filling it in.
And I mean, I think the next one you'll really like.
What did you say?
Oh, I said
more of it?
I said it's a pussy bow sweater. To which Mom said, no, it's a tie neck. To which I said, oh, you mean the close half sister of the pussy bow, and another pattern style that you say, oh, look, it's a. And I say, why do we need another?
Oh, we do. This is ribbed. So all the way through.
The difference, Elizabeth, is that it's ribbed.
That's right.
It's not seed stitched like the Sweet Georgia one you have.
See, they said that you can pair this with sequins.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. It's called Cocktail Hour.
It's very pretty.
It is very pretty.
I will give you that. It's very pretty.
I will be making one of those.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Yes. Then this is more your style.
It is. I mean, maybe not so flowy, but...
Right. I just don't look good in anything like that. So, but it's certainly a good look for many people. This is May Landra designed that one. And then
There's a whole 80s revival section.
Yes. I think this is Joji Locatelli.
Probably.
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
This is Joji that she is going back to, I think she said the 70s or 80s. Oh, 80s.
It says 80s.
It says 80s. I can't read. And I think it's an interesting use of that fuchsia as a pop of color. Very nice. Now they call this the Ringwald, and you will know why, because it's pretty in pink. Look at that cable definition going down the back. Really sweet.
Yeah.
Now this is the plaid that Elizabeth and I have talked about, and doing it in different color combinations. I think it's lovely. A real sweet looking sweater.
Yeah.
That might be a great project for going into fall, starting in August and going into fall.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be fantastic.
I think it'd be so much fun to wear.
This is another. Is this brioche? I guess it is brioche. Drop 2 color brioche. So if I don't get enough with doing the pullover, I can go and do this.
I was going to say, or instead of doing that pullover from a few months ago.
You know, I like pullovers.
I love pullovers. I'm just saying.
And this is a color work yoke.
It is lovely.
Nice. Very nice. And Lopi.
Oh.
So if you... update with a classic Lopi style yoke. So if you want to be warm, Lopi's the way to go.
Who's it by?
I don't know.
That looked like it could be... Oh, Laura Barker. Okay.
Then this is one that I think is just a nice... Just put it on. Have some
interest.
Yes. I just love it. Put on your... it's not stretch tights.
Your leggings?
Leggings, that's the word. I'm so tired. We had spring forward, so we moved to daylight savings time today. I saw 4:30 this morning. That's because I'm taking my allergy pills in the recommended time, and they keep me up. This is a very interesting textured scarf.
Cowl.
And I think that would be fun to make.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I need another cowl, but I think that would be tons of fun to make. Inspired by the ancient Japanese capital by Wei
Kyoto.
Wilkins. Then we get into somewhat they have style as men's sweaters, but Elizabeth said she could make them for herself.
I mean, I really like the cabled one on the other side.
This is by Nancy Marchant. This is lattice stitch and deep ribbed cuffs by Nancy Marchant. And Lord knows, Nancy, I don't think, can do a pattern wrong. Then here's Traveling Cables by Vladimir Teryokin. Look at this. Now,
I can't really see the cables because it's such a light colored yarn.
And it's a tweed, so it's really not catching and reflecting the light as well. But I think that is a... Go get this volume and see how sweet it is. Now, I am not a fan of baubles, so you know that this is not a cowl I'll be making. But the detail in terms of the moving stitches and the semi-cable really fascinates me.
I like the smocking kind of detail on that.
This is what she's talking about, and it is very pretty. Mm-hmm. But what I saw was this. So many times I make a toque, and it just sits there on my head, kind of looking like a cannonball. So if I added this to the outside, a little bow. I have a thing about bows. If you couldn't tell, it might give it enough something of volume to make it look that it's not smashing my head. And then the last thing is this shawl scarf called the Moorland by Jennifer Owens, and she knitted in haiku skakel. Something called Simplicity Spray, and it is big cables that are running up and down that scarf. Lovely, lovely patterns in here. So many things to make.
Gotta finish a few things first.
How do you decide? So anyway, I am working on my denim colored calmer.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yes, and I don't know. They say don't touch your face. My whole face itches. I've washed my hands several times since I've been home. So I'm thinking maybe what I want to do is, well, I can do that art yarn. Mm-hmm. That is a summer cardigan type of thing. So I can work on that, get something for summer done, then maybe work on either the Queensland or the yarn I got from
Oyster Bay?
No, East Hampton.
Black Sheep.
So many choices. And
I mean, I had wanted to start a cardigan for my best friend, but I have misplaced the swatch.
Oh, no.
Yep. Can't find it.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
So,
is that the one that was about this tall?
About yay big, yeah. Yeah. So, I might look downstairs and see if I left it here. But it's not in my knitting bag. Yeah, I'm a little peeved about it.
Yeah, you were showing me that last weekend.
Or 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little peeved.
It'll turn up. We didn't throw it out.
I know, but it also... I think it came home, but I don't know where it went, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Hopefully it'll show up sometime soon. Mm-hmm. Hopefully before June, so I can gift it to her in June.
Oh, gosh.
That's my plan, but if it doesn't
you don't remember what you did with it? Because you talked about it and you had it washed? And
I know what I did with it. I didn't take the gauge on it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
It still wasn't dry.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I went looking for it. And then at knit night, I dumped my bag out on the floor.
Oh, that must have been quite a sight.
Well, it was okay. It's not all that packed. But so I need to find that. Mm. That's currently on my hot list of things.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I think it's time to
weave in those ends. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.